Well, today I'm going to make, I was going to make my favorite cornbread recipe that I've loved for the past few years. And as I was getting the ingredients out, Bonnie said, well, that's not your favorite one. I've been using yours for years, and realized I'd had another favorite some years ago. So I decided I'm going to make both, and I think there'll be benefits of each one, and maybe you want them for different times and use both. I don't know. We'll see at the taste test. So first I'm going to make the one I thought was my most recent favorite. And it's got 2 eggs I beat up, so I just put the eggs in here. 1 cup of milk. And stir that around. The thing about cornbread is you need to not over stir the ingredients all together. So I've stirred the milk and the eggs together, and I'm going to add a cube and a half of butter. It said soften. I did it a little more than soften. If it's not quite softened, it's hard to mix. So I'd rather go to the melted side than the just soft. And then 2 cups of Bisquick. So far it doesn't really sound like cornbread, does it? So 2 cups of Bisquick, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Let's make sure I got the soda. Yep. I put that just in with the sugar so I can mix it all together. And just 4 heaping tablespoons of yellow cornmeal. Now I want to talk for a minute about, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
You mean really heat it?
Yeah, and I've done where I just, that's the same thing as 1/4 of a cup, but it's not as heaping. You can't heap as much on there. So this is one that I do the tablespoons. Now cornmeal is made out of what they call field corn. It's used for the cattle, the livestock to eat. It's not as good a flavor to me. And some years ago I learned the tip of using popcorn, grinding up popcorn to make your own, and it's a sweeter kind of corn. I also read that you can take corn, yellow corn, sweet corn that we eat, and dry it and grind that up. I've not tried that. The popcorn is easy to get and easy to grind, and it's already there, but it's something you might experiment with, and it makes a difference in the flavor of the corn.
And is one healthier than the other?
Well, this is called, most cornmeal is degerminated, meaning they take part of it out to make it a nicer product, they think. This is the whole popcorn. So this is a whole grain. And so if that makes a difference to you, you might as well have it. But in this, I'm just using the regular one, and then I'm going to use this in my old favorite recipe. We'll see what it is. So you mix it up. The other thing you want to do is not over mix it. So I didn't do this in a big mixer because you want it to just be combined thoroughly. This is a nice kind of whisk to use because it's heavy and it's easy to mix it. So just make it till it's all moist, but not overbeat it.
So is it okay there if there are a few lumps in it?
Yeah, just a few, kind of like pancakes.
Bisquick kind of has
yeah.
lumps in it.
The one thing I didn't do is sometimes my soda gets clumped, and I usually do it, and I forgot to do that. So I would, next time I make it, and every time I usually make it, I make sure there's no lumps. This looks like it's more smooth than mine, but I always do it in my palm because you don't want a lump of baking soda. So we'll see how that is. So it's mixed it pretty nice there. And do you want to give me another one of the scraper? Yeah. And I'll just put this aside here and put it in the dish. And then I'll get this together for the next part. Oh, let's see. Do you want to hold this too? Yeah. Thank you. Now, both these could be made. I'm making these because I want them the same. I'm making them just in the casserole dish. But if you want muffins, it makes about 24 corn muffins.
Oh, that's quite a high
Yeah,
yield.
yeah. So, okay, we'll get started on the next one. So now I've finished the cornbread that uses Bisquick, and I'm going to start on my older favorite recipe. And it's a totally different recipe. So in here I have 2 cups of flour already mixed in, and like the other cornbread recipe, I'm going to be careful not to overmix it. So I'm putting all the dry ingredients first and stirring that. So there's a cup of sugar, and there's a teaspoon of baking powder. Let's see, and let's make sure there's no, a teaspoon of baking soda.
Okay.
Did I say baking powder?
You said it. Oh, yeah.
It's baking soda, and you have to be careful because they don't react just the same. So a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and 2 cups of the cornmeal. Now, if you remember, this is 4 heaping tablespoons. This is 2 cups, and this is the cornmeal that I made by grinding the popcorn. So I just stirring these up. You can stir this as much as you want to get it even.
Back to the
lump-free.
popcorn, you ground that in the grinder that you use to grind wheat?
I did, yes.
Okay.
I read on the internet that you can use a heavy-duty blender, one of the high-powered ones. So I don't know, I don't even know if I think mine's cheaper, so it's probably not a heavy-duty one.
So, but your
I use my wheat grinder.
works
Mhm.
for that.
Yeah.
And you have to change the dial?
I
on
changed
the
it to medium.
grinder.
Another place I read said don't use coarse because sometimes it gets gritty, but use medium or fine. I use medium for this, but Bonnie on hers likes to use the coarse.
Yeah.
And her grinder said to grind it coarse.
Yeah.
And she's never had that problem. So there you go.
All your choices.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to add the liquidy stuff. It takes 1 cup of buttermilk, and this is pre-measured. That's always nice.
Because a half a pint is
Yes,
1
1
cup.
cup. 4 eggs that have been beaten, and 1 cup of butter.
Well, no wonder it's one of your favorite
Yeah.
recipes.
So, and then again, I just mix it till it's incorporated, but don't overmix it.
Do you know what overmixing does?
Yes.
It toughens it. This is one of those things you don't want to make the gluten
Make
develop
tough.
it. Yeah.
It's like muffins. You're supposed to do it just till they're moist.
Or pancakes. Okay. Okay, this actually, the batter is quite a bit stiffer batter.
And when I make mine in the muffin tins, I use a cookie scoop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And would you know what size cookie scoop for a normal muffin?
Probably a 1/4 cup.
Probably 4. Is it the 40? Or should be a
No,
small-
40 is the cookie one.
Right, but I think I might use my cookie
Oh,
one.
do you?
Yeah.
Okay. You do it about 3/4 full of the cup, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on the cookie,
Yeah.
the muffin tin, because some are deeper than others. So.
The do you want to get me another spatula?
Yeah.
The muffins probably be easier to serve, a little bit more fussy to make, but you can do a variety, depend on who you're having over, or so. Just a little bit over here, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, this is more spreadable.
Yeah, this is a
The
denser
other you
one.
poured it.
Yeah. So, okay, that's good. But you just smooth it down. And this one, you put in a 375 degree oven. And if you're doing muffins, of course, it'll be shorter time of baking also. But
This recipe also fits in a half sheet pan.
But just
But it makes it
Oh,
thin.
thinner.
They
Yeah, if
make
you
it
want
thin.
thinner.
That's what I've done a lot of
Oh,
times.
that's good to know. Yeah.
And then
so.
you just put butter on top when you want to eat it.
Let's see, do we have anything to scoop this out?
Oh, you don't have to split it.
I
Just
found
put it
that
on
to be
top, huh?
Pretty easy.
Okay, so
So
we'll
this will
bake
make
these.
this will make the kind that you would want to slice and
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, both
This
these,
kind,
yeah. So we'll bake these. Like I said, this is 350 oven for about 30 minutes, and this says 375 for about 20 minutes. But I'll watch it, and we'll come back and decide which is best. This is the difference between them. This isn't quite as. This is the one with Bisquick, and this is the other one with a more cornmeal. This one turned out a little higher, taller, I mean. So we're gonna butter them. Let's all eat the same one at one time, or no?
Whoops.
no, she's eating this one, so we'll eat that one.
Okay, so the first one I made has the Bisquick in it. It's a little more crumbly. I did read if you want less crumbly, you can add a little more egg.
Oh. That's a nice one.
Very good.
It kind of melts in your mouth. It's a very good one. Okay, and the one with the 2 cups of cornmeal. And this one, I used the popcorn that I ground. I probably will, because I think it's a better product, I would probably now, whichever one I want to make of these, I'll use the popcorn.
You're not using the degerminated.
No, I'm going to have the whole grain.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know, I like them both.
They're very different from each other.
There's one, the one with the Bisquick right here is a little lighter. This is a little heavier.
I think you can taste the cornmeal a little more in
Yeah,
this.
there's more cornmeal. I think it depends on what I'm serving it with. I like both products.
Mhm.